Hey, did you know there's a lot more going on right now at our websites? Are you watching all 4 of them? If not, check them out. There's a list right here. We got 3 YouTube channels and 1 audio-only channel for your enjoyment. So come on, dig in, and see all the stuff we do here at the North American Snow Queen Palace. Hello everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and today we got a lot of things to talk about. Some exciting, some not. Okay, first of all, I just want to see if this works here. And I had the microphone pointing the wrong way. Okay, and that's the first thing, is we had a loose connection in here, and I fixed it using a jeweler's screwdriver, and that was something that had to do with the new cord for the phone. This is the pigtail I told you about that came from China, and I had to do the same thing inside. Actually, I did this one inside first because the plug, which is the same as the plug for the headphones for the studio, wasn't making good contact. That was about the only thing that was really wrong with this. I was going to cut the end off and basically put a whole new plug on the end, but I figured I'd save a few bucks and try to fix it first, and I was able to fix it. So now here's how you use this. You take any standard headphones you want, okay, and you see it's got this big plug, but our little machine uses this plug, so we need an adapter to go from here to here. Now, some of the adapters that exist, I'm sure you're talking about. Many of the standard adapters look like this. And the problem is, when you put the plug in these adapters, is it gets really heavy. Heavy enough, in fact, that it could actually snap this part off. Now, that's bad enough if that's your home stereo, and you can get that apart to fix it. But if it's in a portable electronics, like an iPhone, or anything like that, or even a CD player, that would be bad news for you. So, to save my sanity and my plug from damage, I bought this pigtail. Now, as you will notice, the pigtail, this is actually a meter long. I didn't know it was a meter long, but that's great. It's additional length anyway. Okay, the plug goes in like this, and then it plugs in to my iPhone, and in my case here, it fits perfectly. It locks in. Now, I can take my tunes anywhere I go, soup kitchen, whatever. I can play it. Like, for example, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put some music on here. Here's what it sounds like to you. And as you can hear, okay, so anyway, the cool thing is it works really well. What it does is it lets me use any standard home headphones with my phone. And that may seem kind of silly, but to be honest with you, the standard headphones that are made now are crap. I mean, they're crap because either they're really expensive and they have this tiny, thinner than this, I'm not kidding you, like earbuds. They have these crappy cords on them. They tend to break really easy. They're made out of tinsel. They don't have any strength at all. Or they cost a godforsaken fortune, And so people, really kind of, some people, especially those with hearing losses, tend to need something with a little more volume to them. And trust me, these are loud. Okay, so now, what's cool is I use the same headphones for studio work. So now I can plug this back into a studio monitor. Okay. Yep. So, the good news is that these work very well. And unlike the other kind, the weight on this is going to be a lot easier to distribute the weight, because you can, you may be using a piece of electrical tape or something. You can actually kind of attach this cord in a way that so that the phone doesn't take all the weight. Whereas with this adapter over here, if I had this adapter in here plugged to my iPhone, I had to take my case off because it's just a little bit too big. You can see the difference in the size of the plugs here. Okay? These has got a big fat round barrel, and the plug doesn't sit well in my case. I have to take my case off to use it. Whereas this case, of course, I modified this case a slightly bit, is I reamed the hole a little bit bigger anyway. But to me, what's the point of that? Well, the reason I did that was originally to try to compensate for this other phone cord, which did work, okay? But as you can see, if I had my headphones plugged in on that, and say I was jogging, and all of a sudden, something happens and it just snaps off, I'm going to be stuck with a broken piece of headphone plug in my iPhone, and I'm not going to be able to get that out. I have to bring it to the Apple store to have them remove the broken piece. Okay? So that's not exactly a great way to go. In fact, that is a very common problem with a lot of iPhones, is that they sometimes just get regular standard Walkman sized plugs jammed in there. So obviously, there is alternatives to that, which I did not mention. I'm also bringing this up right now. Is that you can get a Bluetooth receiver module that allows you to plug in your standard 1/8-inch headphone plug into it, and you would pair it up as a Bluetooth headphone, as Bluetooth headphones, and it will allow you to listen to your favorite tunes that way. There's also the same adapter can also be used to receive and listen to Bluetooth on anything that can import headphone signals, including my hi-fi system. So I can actually listen to my Bluetooth on my phone on my hi-fi or stereo. That's pretty cool. The other thing is, I don't really think it's something I would necessarily want to waste my time doing, because I can go ahead and get a standard, I don't already have one laying around here somewhere, and I do. If I have a standard headphone cord anyway, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so do I think this is worth the money? Yes. However, if you put your plug in and you find that the plug is kind of sloppy, if you have a good light source, you can, and say something like a very fine jeweler screwdriver, and this happens to be a good size for this job, you can go in there and you can check the prongs to make sure that the spring is going to grab the plug well. I first got this thing, the plug didn't even sit in there, it just kind of slid out. And so I decided to see if I could fix the problem, and I did. And then I realized I could do the same thing with my monitor cord, so I did the same thing, fixed the cord. The problem is I wish the distributor would actually have a U.S. warehouse, because it really took a long time to get this thing. It took me over 4 months to get this cord. I mean, it's a great cord. It's long enough, but 4 months is crazy. No one's going to wait 4 months to get a 1 meter long cord like this. This is just, I mean, I know what you're going to say. Yep, I could have made one myself. Then why did you get a pre-made one? Because it was cheaper that way. Cheaper? I know what you mean by cheaper. This is cheaper by big time. This is like $3. If I had to make the same thing myself, it would have costed me probably about, maybe 2 plugs and 2 of these 1/8-inch plugs for maybe about $2. And then this plug here was about $3 each. And they were still going to come from China. Unless I could find an American distributor, and if I could find that, it's going to cost me even more money. And if I could take this thing, take this plug off an old pair of Walkman headphones, the plugs, unfortunately, are crappy. These things suck. Even this one is a little bit better than the standard Walkman headphone plug, but it still sucks, okay? But it's better, okay? Now, speaking of wire, let's compare. Here is the full-size monster headphone cord. You'll see it's twice as thick as the other cord. Here's a little modular plug. Here's a monitor plug, okay? Okay, now take a look at the ends here, okay? They're the same plug, okay? This plug here is maybe about an 1/7-inch diameter. This is probably maybe more like 3/16, maybe 5/16 inch. It's not quite 1/4 inch, because if it was 1/4 inch, it'd be... it's pretty close, so I definitely say it's more like, probably closer to 3/16 for this plug. And these cords have allow me to use headphones and stuff like that. Okay, I want to use. Now, I'm going to just make sure everything works as I talk. Okay, now, the next thing that we're going to do is we want to talk to you about spring. Spring's coming up. I have not an idea for spring hobbies. I'm just going to let you know what I'm thinking about. And what we're going to do is we're going to be working on a lot of projects. Now, yesterday, which I did not put a bcast code key on it because it's not really specifically a bcast. It's more of a how-to video. I showed you how we put the balance on the cord. That's it's still going to be invaluable for another reason. But I'm going to tell you something. I have personal beef about balance. The first thing is I noticed that these poor things are the wire itself, the Category 5 wire, is very fiddly. It's very fine. It breaks really easy. Okay? And you know what it also reminds me of? It reminds me of twin lead. Now, when I talk about twin lead, for those of you who ever had TV in the old days, before coax was the norm, everybody had twin lead. Twin lead is think of like a zip cord with a little bit of a space between. I got some twin lead around here. I'll have to look it up for you. It's not really much to look at, okay? Which is you have 2 parallel conductors separated by either an air gap or a piece of dielectric, okay? And they were common for TV antennas for years because they were cheap. And they were saying they were cheap. So everybody said, oh, coax is better. Coax keeps signal strength all the way down. It was great against aluminum siding because unlike with your twin lead, you're going to have against aluminum siding, you're going to have reflections and all that. Yeah? Gee. I really would like to have you explain to me, how is Category 5E any better than twin lead? I don't give a crap if it's twisted into a tiny little knot. It's still, the only thing good about it, from what I saw, in some cases, is the fact that the wire is cheaper. It can go further. Of course, it can carry power on the other pairs. So if you're going to carry power or audio, or maybe even, who knows what else you want to carry with the cables. Well, I mean, Maybe you want to have multiple cameras mounted on the ceiling. Carry, say, 3 cameras powered by 12 volts DC on one pair, and 3 camera output signals going on to 3 other pairs. Great connection, man. Solves everything, right? No, it doesn't. Because one of the things I discovered yesterday is, in the wrong circumstances, and they are few and far between, but might as well bring them up. In the wrong circumstances, a piece of a balun is not going to help your signal any. It's actually going to cause you problems. Especially if you happen to be running it along, say, electrical cables. Electrical cables induce electrical interference. And coaxials, in this case, might be a bit better, but don't count on it, because if the signal's interference is bad enough, it's going to knock your signal out anyway, no matter what you do, okay? So, pick your poison. It's not going to change the equation, okay? Does that mean I'm not going to use the balance for going on the porch? Of course I'm going to use the balance for going on the porch. Why not? I already invested in them. I might as well use them. I got the stuff. Let's be honest. If I had to go out there and run RG6 from the kitchen for the demo, not only do I have to wrangle with that fire hose, which this is connected to. This is using RG6, this camera right now. I would have to wrangle a fire hose into my kitchen just to do a video demo, okay? And then when I'm done with the fire hose, roll it up and throw it in the closet somewhere and hope to God that the wire doesn't get damaged or the plugins, the BNCs get damaged, because it can suffer from the same kind of damage that this cable would do. Because the wire is so heavy that it will actually cause the BNC connector to break off. I've already had that problem with this camera now. And this camera is pretty much stationary most of the time. So, yeah, we're going to use the balance. Another thing I noticed that makes a big difference, we did not test it very much with the PAL camera in that circumstance. However, because I shoot in PAL, and American power is 60 cycles, my camera is not as susceptible to outside interference from U.S. mains power knocking my video for a loop. That's a plus for using European standard. You don't have to worry about that as much, because the camera is not going to get knocked for a loop with interference from American mains power as much. And I'm saying it can't be. It's just, its frequencies are different. The fundamental frequencies are different. Those sync frequencies are different enough that you're protected against that if properly installed. If you got bad cables, it doesn't matter if you're using HDMI, HD, VGA, SVGA, something from Mars. It doesn't matter. Bad cables are going to result in bad shit, no matter what you do. But like I said, I was very happy with the result. That was just the Commodore 64 screen looked terrible. Was getting interference patterns, possibly from the computer itself, because the computer has so many harmonics because of the processor, and maybe it's probably because some of the Commodore 64 doesn't have very good shielding. That's probably why. So, also, you're not supposed to have it too close to transformers. Well, unfortunately, I had it close to the transformer. I had it close to the computer. So, not only did you have a 200 megahertz machine on the bottom of the Pentium 200 that was producing for RFI, you also had the Commodore 64 that was generating frequency of about 1 megahertz. Okay? Plus, the NTSC signal picked up from channel 3 and 4 for the modulator, which I wasn't even using. Okay? So, I'm not going to say that the use of an RF balun is necessarily a bad idea. In some ways, it's a good idea. Some people seem to think baluns are the cat's meow. No, taste on that. I don't think they're quite the cat's meow, but when I look at the price of baluns versus in category 5 cable versus RG 6 and RG59 with BNC connectors, and the fact that every single cable with camera and a BNC connector has to be home run. Whereas with Category 5, like I said, on standard 4 pairs, you could easily put 3 cameras plus power. Or 4 cameras if you're going to have separate power supply. And all the connections to the cameras can either go back to 110 or 66 punch-down blocks, or go straight to a patch panel at a central location. That's a plus. That's a big plus, especially if you've got a big camera establishment. But for me, it's not quite my apartment. But anyway, that's for the future. So for the next few days, we're going to be working on a couple different projects here. We got to get 4 cable programs in for cable 13. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to cover. I don't even know. I was hoping to put that video along with a 64 HDD demo on the cable 13. And I might do that. I don't know yet. But the other thing is that I wanted to talk to you about what's been going on in my life, because I think a lot of people kind of forget that I have a life outside of videos. I don't just sit behind the camera all day. First of all, I've been beginning to feel that kind of downward depression slope kind of. Yeah, it happens to me every year. It's spring, the flowers are starting to pop out of the ground. After Yule, I start to decline, and then I'll start on about halfway down, and by the time June 21st comes, that's when I'm usually at my lowest point. And so let me just double check the dates on this, because I always gave you the wrong dates. I also gave the wrong dates for another thing too. I'm going to get to that in a second. If I go to, because I want to try to get to the right dates. Okay, June this year, 21st. It's Lissa. Now, by Lissa, I'm pretty much down as low as I'm gonna go. All right, and then as summer marches in the fall and autumn, and then my energy levels start to peak or start to come back up. So from Yule, it's up here. Okay, if you can imagine like a sinusoidal wave, Yule is right here. Okay, top of the list. Then slowly as we go towards the star, it starts to drop. And it's a slow, gradual drop. Then by the time I start, it comes right here. And it's just like halfway, okay? And then slowly, by Lissa, it's about right here, okay? And then by Mabon, which is around September, it's about right here. Okay? And then we start to go back up, and then we're back up here to about Yule. So that means that 6 months out of the year I take an antidepressant, and the other 6 months I don't. Now you're probably saying, why don't you take an antidepressant year round? Because for one thing, if I'm already facing, I'm not getting depressed anymore, why would you take antidepressant when you're not depressed? That doesn't make any sense. However, it certainly does make sense to take an antidepressant when you are depressed, and of course I do get depressed with a reverse seasonal affective disorder every summer. Now, I already got my refill on my prescription, so I'm all set there for that. I haven't started it yet. I will be taking it. Well, tomorrow is technically the 19th. I could start taking the tablets tomorrow. In fact, I probably will take them tonight. I'll probably take them tonight, and then by that time, I'll refill it in about by Mabon. And that's what we'll be done. Now, what other things am I going to do besides popping pills? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great question. What else am I going to do? Well, I'm planning on still buying that violin in May. And this time, I'm buying it. Hell or high water, it is on my shopping list. I will buy it. Okay, because I want it. I want it bad. I want it real bad. I want it so bad I can taste it. Why? Because I'm tired of necessarily doing computers work. I want to do something different. I'm 47 years old. I really need a change. Am I going to buy another Commodore 64? Maybe not. Now, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I can't plan the future ahead. Not that far. I can plan for May, but June, July, August, September, November, December, October, November. I mean, let me say it over. I can't plan for June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I can't plan that far ahead, but I can plan for May. And I'm going to plan for May. By the way, the waste report. Oh, yes. Absolutely. The waste report is brought to you by nobody in particular. Okay, here's the deal. My weight, I don't have a scale, so I can't go by pounds or kilograms, but I can go by inches. Upper chest, actually my real honest to God waist is 42 3/4. I went around about 43, which is normal. That's where it should be. My gut, my belly, is down to about 46. 46, something like that. And I'll be honest, I haven't been eating the greatest thing in the world either. The kind of food I've been eating, my doctor would probably be crying. What a shame. Oh my God, she's eating ice cream, she's eating cheese, she's eating Oreo cookies, she's eating... Why is she losing weight? Because I lose weight in the spring and summer usually anyway, and then they put it back on by Luther. There you go. Okay? So in other words, that's why, how that works for the weight. That doesn't make me a bad person. Oh, you know what that is? That brings up another very brilliant point. Okay? Just because you're overweight does not make you a bad person. Just as being overweight does not mean that you don't know how to eat well. Or that you don't care about your image. That is bullshit. I can tell you there are some very large people who very much are concerned about their well-being. But because of metabolism, because of things they cannot change, they cannot lose it. No matter what they do. You could tell them, you gotta lose 20 pounds by next month. And they can't do it. They can go on all the South Beach diets they want. They can go on Atkins. They can go on Weight Watchers. They can go get their stomach stapled. And they will lose it for a little bit of time, but then all of a sudden, they're bigger. That's right. They get bigger. Larger. Because there's something happens to the body. When they diet or something, they explode. As one of my case managers had a weight problem, she told me. She got her stomach stable. She said, you know what happened? I'm just as fat now as I was before I got it done. I wasted my money. I didn't lose anything. But my stomach compensated for the staples. It actually decided to grow bigger. And she likes soul food. This manager is working for another agency now. But the point is, it's not because we don't care. I want to make sure I highlight that. because the truth is we do care. Now, while we're at it, talking about the grapes report. Grapes report? Yeah, grapes report. Is this going to be a regular thing in your program? Because I think this is going to kill your channel big time. No, I don't think it's going to be a regular thing. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Am I part of your grapes report? No. Do you want to be? As a target? No. Well, okay, yeah, as a target. No. Rather not be. I mean, it sounds kind of derogatory if you ask me. Okay. So what's your next grapes? The next grapes has to do with smartphones. Smartphones. Okay. Why do I have a gripe with smartphones? I'll tell you 2 reasons why I have a gripe with smartphones. It has to do with not necessarily with the medium itself, but actually has to do with the type of smartphones. Now, if you have an Android smartphone and you got a Mac and you're trying to interface your Android smartphone with your Mac, you're going to use a program for many of the newer phones that requires something called Microsoft Transfer Protocol, MTP. Dory got herself a new cell phone. And she says to me, I need to transfer the pictures to my account on your system. I took one look at the phone, which was the same manufacturer. I said, shit, not again. So I plugged it in to my Mac. And of course, the thing said, oh, I'm sorry, but this computer doesn't have MTP. I can't do anything with it. So I went ahead, I went on the internet, I looked for the MTP compatible program that works with my operating system. Found a couple of them. First one crashed, poof, right off the bat. I don't know if it likes a G3 or G5 or not. Obviously, it didn't like my G5. Okay? Then I tried another one. A little better. One, it seemed to recognize the phone. It let me check the battery status. Told me how much memory was free. But it would not access her photo album. And it was not on her external flash card. It was actually in her phone. And I could not figure out how I was supposed to copy the pictures from her internal flash to her external flash so I can plug it into my TF flash reader so I can plug it into my phone in the first place, into my computer. I got so mad, I told Dory, I said, next time, get yourself an iPhone or 4S, and I can easily transfer the pictures using iPhone or iTunes. This ain't working for me. I have tried several programs, and some of them at least only work partially. I don't like Android in the first place. I really don't. I got the fabulous phablet, and it ain't no fabulous anything. Except it's got a big nice large screen, which is a plus. Right? And it doesn't have, at least, well, if it had a working USB port, that version of Android can directly use standard USB protocol in debug mode to actually let me copy things to and from the phone directly. I can't do that with these new phones because they come up and they demand I have to use Microsoft Transfer Protocol. I don't know if it's because these are all Samsung phones that Dory keeps dragging in here, or what, that they do not like my computer. Period. Now, on the other hand, you want to talk about another thing that frustrates me. We're supposed to have these phones. They're supposed to make our life better. Now, my iPhone's been a pretty good champ. It's worked fine for years. It still works great. But the truth is, every time I get involved with a cell phone, I sit there. I'm at the soup kitchen because I have no minutes I have no data on my phone right now. And I'm twiddling my thumbs. And I'm listening to the radio at the soup kitchen. And the first thing is, I want to grab the goddamn phone so I can do some internet research. I only have data on it. Oops. Oh, so I have to sit there and just stare at the screen. And maybe sometimes, just sometimes, I'll sit there and do a vlog entry. Because what else am I supposed to do with the thing? Without data on my phone, it's fucking useless. Okay? So I have no choice. I can upgrade the plan, but I'm trying to save my violin. Remember? So I'm sorry if that sounds like a kind of swan song I play on the violin. But the truth is, I do want that instrument. So I'm willing to sacrifice my comfort so that I could at least keep my gold plan from my A and buy the musical instrument so I can play something this year. Yeah, well, is it going to happen? Yes, it's going to happen. I promise you that. Because I want it to happen. This time, though, I'm serious. I want to make this happen. I'm sick and tired of having to keep sacrificing. This is something I told my case manager. Every time I want to do something, I have to keep scrambling to find another way to get the money out of something else. I'd rather have the additional funds in the first place so I can do it. Now, unfortunately, this month, Capital One gave me a credit line increase. That's great. I used some of that credit line increase to pay off my cell phone bill. Not my cell phone bill, my satellite bill. I was behind because I realized I had to anyway. Because of that, I got a little bit extra money now for the month of April. So for the month of April, we can buy some other small things we need for the house. Speaking of that, you're going to buy that stuff so you can use your phone with you, like, on the field. I'd say we probably could start buying some of the stuff. Yeah. I definitely want to be able to, this spring, I don't want to be chained indoor and inside in the studio. I want to go out on the field. I want to be able to go remotely and travel and do something other than sitting in here all day long. So yes, I am going to try to get the little adapter bracket for my phone and the adapter cable that will allow me to plug my microphone that you see on my desk or the other microphone, the PD mic, in so I can take it out with me on the road so I can actually do videos. That's what I want to do. That will allow me to do better. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. This phone, even though it has been good and served me well for 4 years, is starting to show its age, and it needs to be worked on. It needs more, it's kind of getting okay. First of all, I was just talking to Jimmy about some business, so that's why we turned the microphone off. It's because it's personal matters, and we don't necessarily want to drag it out on the internet here. So, where was I? You were talking about how you wanted to do more off campus and try to get more videos and stuff done online. Or in other areas. Right. Absolutely. One of the things is I definitely would like to be able to do good quality videos remotely as well. But the problem, like I said, is my phone is still working fairly well. But unfortunately, it's getting old, and I would like to eventually get a replacement. But given the experience I've had with the Android phones, I don't think it's going to be the Android phone by any stretch of the imagination, because I don't think the Android phones work good with my Mac. And even when I had the old Samsung Galaxy Vibrate, even though I could connect into my Mac directly, and it'll show up as attached file storage on my computer, the calendar and everything else did not integrate in. iTunes did not work with that Galaxy Vibrate's MP3 system. And all iPhones, including this one, are draining the batteries down so quick that makes them almost kind of unusable. So I think that it seems to me that all this technology that we use every day is making me feel like I'm chained to a system I don't quite agree on. What I'm not agreeing on is I am a free spirit. I like being able to do things on my own based on observations and looking at the facts presented to me. And that's why that's why I like to work at. By the way, the apartment is indeed still for rent if you're interested. So if you are, contact Jimmy again at 860-248-9644. There's a couple interested applicants already, but if you got whoever gets the money first gets it. Okay, you got good credit, you got good references, and you want it. You got the money first. You got the money right now. It's available right now. First one gets it. 860-248-9644. As I said a couple days ago, it's $700 a month. And plus one security deposit of $700. And it has heat, hot water, water, sewer, and garbage is provided by a landlord or tenant. It just has to pay for electricity and or any other elective services such as telephone, cable, satellite dish, whatever. Okay. Again, that's 860-248-9644. Ask for Jimmy. And as I said, it's in downtown Main Street. In fact, let me read you my Craigslist listing, because this will save me a lot of trouble to repeat. Yes, I have a listing on Craigslist as well. I'm going to read it to you. It says, apartment for rent, 3 rooms, 2 can be used as bedrooms or bedroom living area. Electric cooking, heat, hot water, water, sewer, appliances, and garbage provided by the landlord. Free Wi-Fi available, 3rd floor. Wired for charter cable, DirecTV, and / or Dish Network. Rooftop antenna service also available. Tenant pays for electricity. This downtown unit is right on the local bus line. It is also conveniently close to shopping. Car is not required to get things done. Tenant has 1 parking space in the rear of the building, very close to Northwestern Community Technical College in Winsted. 1 month's rent plus 1 month's security deposit to move in. Please call to make an appointment. If email, please give phone number so landlord can call you back to arrange an appointment. In case you want to know what the listing is, it is $700 2-bedroom with heat and hot water in Winsted. So there you go. So there's the deal. If you are looking for an apartment in Winsted, there you go. That's your choice to get and move into the North American Snow Queen Palace, and you can actually get to meet me personally. Hey, how cool. You get a chance to have a place to live right next door to me and Lumi, and you'll be able to learn all about this. Not that much to learn. No, maybe not. Not much to learn. They're just us. They're just us. Alright, now we gotta get a whole bunch of videos in for the next few days for the Cable 13 program. So, Lum, do you have any ideas? I haven't really thought of anything. No one's actually contacted me. I really need ideas, so you do. I haven't got any ideas because we keep coming up with new things and stuff. Like you're doing, we're just gonna be doing this review of 64 HDD when the XC1541 cable comes, and I really haven't really thought of anything yet. Well, maybe you should work on it. No, I will. I have to. Okay. By the way, I even though I did not put this up on the morning vlog, I'm going to put the information out right now. The Soup Kitchen is having its Easter dinner on March 25th. That's a Thursday. Okay, for Easter. That's Holy Thursday. And Good Friday is the day afterwards. Okay? The Soup Kitchen will not be open for Good Friday. Okay? It will be open for Holy Thursday. So which means is that you can enjoy a nice Easter dinner with your friends or family. It's free. It's at the Open Door Soup Kitchen here in Winsted. So you can come on down, hang out, enjoy a nice dinner, and I think that'd be cool for everybody. Absolutely. And I think it'll be great for you to get a chance to meet me and Michelle in person. Why not? Why not? Yeah, it's free. It's free. Also, of course, we do not have anything planned for the next few days. Because right now we will be doing the videos on the porch, but the problem is that there's a contractor going to be looking at the porch on Monday to determine what is the best way to fix the porch to make it safe. So the porch hopefully will be usable within a few months, and then we'll be able to, when the weather warms up, do some outside videos. So that'd be cool. Right. And, of course, in addition to the weather, we're going to be, and then with the stuff that we're going to be getting, as I said, we might get some of it in April. We're going to be able to go outside on the porch and, well, once it's ready, we can actually connect this camera and bring with us outside anyway, so it's no big deal. You know what I'm thinking is, I think you should buy another one of these cameras. Why? Because maybe one, like this camera here, a second one, a spare, and then you can go ahead and do multiple camera angles. How is it going to help us out in the field? Well, I mean, it can help us because we'd be able to I'm not sure. I mean, I was just thinking about that. I mean, if you had two cameras, and if you had some way of getting a video switcher, even on the field, the problem is twofold now. One, the iPhone does not have any way to input video. From an outside connector on this port here, maybe on the bottom. Maybe there's ways to do it. I don't know. But as it is now, the phone itself has a pretty good fixed focus camera in it that's pretty wide. So in essence, this is a pretty good phone for camera for that purpose. It's this. Just put it on a tripod, plug in the XLR adapter into the microphone headphone jack here, and you'll be ready to do videos, and you can take it with you. And that's just basically means all you have to do is just take a phone, a stand like this one. Okay. Oh, right, that one. There you go. Take the phone, take the microphone with you. This is the light one. This is the duster. This isn't really heavy duty microphone, but it works. And then just plug in the XLR cord and then plug it into the phone. Sitting on a tripod and be all set. That's the whole idea. Okay? And then what that means is that you'll be able to, which means you don't have to mess around taking the expensive SM57 out there on the road. I don't really want to take the SM57 out on that road because, unfortunately enough, this is a $100 microphone. I don't want to see that damaged. It's used. I know it's used, but it's my best microphone. Okay. So for that reason, I would rather keep my Shure SM57 here, or maybe pick up a PG48. What about another SM57? If I could find one at a price I could afford that was in operable condition, yeah, okay. Okay, but still, we need an XLR adapter for that. So we'll have to see what happens. Because it's a great idea, I have to admit. I think Lumi's thinking ahead, and I want to see it happen. So, alright guys. That pretty much is a wrap. We've been doing, as I said, we've been doing a lot of videos lately on demonstrations coming up. We're going to be doing the 64 HDD demo as soon as the XC1541 cable comes in. And we're going to be able to make it happen. I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be great. I think it's going to be great dealing. Because you're going to be able to show people how you can use the computer with using a older PC to act as a file system for a Commodore 64. And obviously you're going to be comparing that with the other Commodore alternatives in the market. I'm going to bring those up, yes. I'm going to certainly talk about the different things such as SD2 IEC, which I've also researched, as well as the IDE 64 concept, which is another alternative for the Commodore 64. But like I'm going to point out, and it is a good point to bring up, is that there has been several different ideas over the many years on the Commodore 64 to make computers better and faster and stuff like that. But constantly what keeps coming up with the Commodore line is everybody wants to keep everything compatible with the 1541. Now the 1541, as I said, is the de facto standard for Commodore 64, especially for copyrighted or copy protected software, but it's only holds 170 kilobytes on the disk at one side, and it's slow and old, but at least it's soft sectored. Yeah, but it's still slow. It only holds 340 kilobytes per double sides if you make a flippy. That's true. That's very true. So, yeah, there are definitely things where sometimes you need to consider the fact is that by the way, S65 HDD would be fantastic if you got a Commodore 64 bulletin board. I'm not going to lie about that. You got something like a Commodore 64 bulletin board out there, and you have you could hold, say, oodles and oodles and oodles of files for downloads. I mean, that's going to be killer awesome. Or what about oodles and oodles of message bases? Yeah. I was thinking about that. I mean, 6485. That 6485 is one of the many bulletin boards that was made for the camera 64. I don't know if it would hit. I don't know. I think it's limited to 20 message bases. Or something like that, right? Well, the point is you have that much space. I mean, you got access to, technically 2 gigabyte and FAT16 file systems. I mean, come on. You know, I know the cluster sizes are freaking huge, but, on MS-DOS 6.22, but, holy cow. Seriously. You know, think about how many message bases you can have and how many messages you can have on file at all times. That's mind-blowing. Absolutely. Yep. Oh, anyway, guys, that's it for now. But you know what? I'll talk to you soon. And, of course, I hope you have a nice day. And, of course, please do contact us. You got any comments, suggestions, concerns, grapes, whatever. I want to hear it. Absolutely. I want to hear every single idea you got. May not like it, well, that's okay. I read them anyway. And, of course, you're always welcome to speak your mind. I want to hear from you. Speak of the mind in the comment section below here. Share it with your friends and enemies. Like or dislike. You do have the right to do that, you know. Subscribe if you have not already done so. And we will see you soon. Definitely. Until then, and since I'm not going to be making any kind of convocation or message for the end of Ostera, which is coming up tomorrow night. Let me say it now. I hope you have a nice spring. I hope it works out for you all. I hope everybody enjoys spring this year. However, I don't know what the spring steward's up to because it don't look like it's going to be warm for the most part. It's gonna warm up, but it's taking its sweet time to get there. But it will warm up. Alright guys, so that's it. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye everybody. Hi guys, this is MicheleMarieDalene. I'm looking for a replacement Commodore 64 computer because the Commodore 64 computer I have, as I mentioned in the video, the sound chip is broken. And it's going to cost me like $49 to $50 to replace the chip. And it's hard to find because it's a Commodore 64C. It uses a really weird chip. It's instead of the standard chip from the Commodore 64. If you got a working Commodore 64 in good condition, it doesn't look like, like somebody ran over it with a truck, let me know, okay? You can email me at bicehela3@gmail.com. As you can see in the picture above, it was a very common computer. A lot of people had them. And if you have that, along with even all the other stuff that comes with it, disk drives, printers, software, I'll take it all. Just let me know, okay? Thank you very much.